Top of the morning to you and welcome to Nigeria Now on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television, the program which brings you the major stories across all of the national dailies here in Nigeria as well as analysis. My name is Sagir Ibrahim and with me in the studio as always is the sub-editor here at TOS TV Network, Mr. Adebayo Fajimi. Good morning, Mr. Adebayo.
Good morning, Mr. Sagir.
Yes, welcome to the show once again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we start with the Daily Times newspaper. Quite a number of colorful headlines on Daily Times newspaper. We see from the very top, Nigeria must decisively tackle its debt challenges, and that's by the African Development Bank boss, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, says youths need investment, not handout. On the banner headline, we see we will complete key projects before 2023. Buhari assures approved 13.3 billion naira for takeoff of community policing initiative. Now, the one that caught my attention here, Mr. Adebayo, is why we're implementing asset declaration for bank executives, and that's by the EFCC. What's your take on this?
Well, it's good, and EFCC, the anti-graft agency, is trying to ensure that there is accountability in every sector, and the banking sector, honestly,
I believe has been neglected for years.
Honestly. So it's a good thing, and it's something that is going to bring sanity to that sector, because there's a lot of corruption going in there, and many people do not even know. So it's a very welcome development.
All right. Moving to the Business Day newspaper, we see business leaders caution FG on over unproductive borrowing. Just yesterday, we saw on the Blueprint newspaper where a headline talked about Buhari's borrowing policy and how he has been somewhat over borrowing, and now we are still seeing, just on a headline that relates to that, business leaders caution the FG over unproductive borrowing. So what would you call unproductive borrowing?
Yeah, when something is unproductive or not productive, it means it is not yielding result. It is there is no
causing more problems.
Yeah, so it's adding more to the problem. It's not solving problem. So it's like somebody borrows money, for burial ceremony, for birthday parties and all of that. So there is no tangible investment and there is no expectation at the end of the day. And that is the fear of everybody. And when government borrows a huge amount of money on overhead and for on salaries and all of that, and at the end of the day, you are not being, you are not taking money to invest into a particular project that at the exact time or so time there's going to be a return of profit at the end of the day. So that makes everybody to begin to ask questions that what's the government doing at this time of the day. And even me myself, it saddens me that the government at this very stage, and despite the deficit and the problem we're having in terms of infrastructure, and the government still wants to borrow a huge amount of money, it's so sad. It's so sad.
All right, quite an interesting headline on the Daily Trust newspaper. The banner headline reads, "Retreat, Minister sack looms as Buhari supervises appraisal. Warns cabinet members on mandate delivery. President in race against time," and that's by an ex-permanent secretary. So we saw, I think sometime last month, either early last month or late 2 months ago, when the president terminated the appointment of the Minister of Power as well as the Minister of Agriculture. So is this a way of saying same fate might be meted on other ministers who are seen to have been underperforming, over the course of their tenure as ministers?
Yes, it is very good. So far, we have seen many political appointees, political office holders who have keen to the mindset that being in political office is an access to national wealth, national cake, and you see most of these people after the appointment they go to religious centers to do Thanksgiving, and at the end of the day you see them doing nothing. So what the administration of Buhari wants to do, or the approach is taking to ensure that everybody is accountable and putting every political appointee on his or her toe, is a very welcome development. And I want to really thumbs up for this, that if we can sustain this and ensure that we are doing it the best way we should do it. Honestly, it's going to help the system of governance, and it's going to ensure that it's going to make whoever is coming to office, it's going to give anybody or whoever is coming in, a sense of responsibility, knowing fully well that I'm not just coming here to take money, to just drive good cars and all of that, but to serve people the way they should be served. So it's a very good thing that Buhari wants to do.
All right. Moving to the Daily Independent newspaper, just from the very top there, we see something you just spoke about earlier. FG should borrow to grow economy, not only exit recession. That's by you when you spoke earlier about purpose-driven borrowing that leads to businesses and investments that can yield returns. So this monies could be paid back. Besides that, we see Buhari okays 13 billion naira for community policing volunteers, directs local production of weapons to meet armed forces needs. Yes, I read this, I think, early this morning or probably late last night, about the president mandating the Nigerian armed forces to, begin the process of creating manufacturing weapons here in Nigeria. And however, we've seen that so far the government seems to be showing some form of commitment and seriousness, into the community policing initiative, as opposed to the state policing that's been clamored for by governors and as well as a lot of Nigeria out there. So why the deliberate move, to focus on community policing initiative instead of state policing?
Well, community policing and state policing, if you look at it, I think though the two words could be somehow different, but I see same initiative, targeted at same goal, to ensure safety of lives and property. So, well, maybe the perspective at which each party, is looking at it. But what is very important, which I believe so strongly in, is the safety of life and property of people, to ensure that people are going, day by day in their daily activities, and ensure that, nothing is happening to them. So what Buhari, says he wants to do, especially this initiative in this particular sector, the security sector, is a good thing, and it should more should be done to ensure that this is just not a nomenclature, that it is something that is being said and is being well processed to ensure that the aims and objectives of the initiative are achieved.
All right. Underneath the picture of the day there, we see PDP chairmanship, High Wire Act stall aspirants from picking forms. Party fixes national chairman's form for 5 million naira. Deputy chairman, national scribe, 3 million naira. What do you have to say about that?
Well,
it's party politics.
It's party politics, and every now and then in every cycle you see money bags, and so I don't.
I have this fear that the PDP might not be able to get their house, in order in time before the 2023 general elections, because we're in October here and they're still having issues around party politics. They've not even come around to sort the internal issues that they have, not to even talk about discussing about zoning the candidacy and then having a round candidate, because of course we know that used to be the order of the day in both the APC as well as the PDP. So if they are having these issues now, when do we want to see their house get in order in time for the 2023 election, if really they want to contest on the level that the current ruling party would be contesting in the elections?
Well, I believe so strongly that they have their own way of resolving the issue, which I really believe they are going to take action on. So don't forget, it is not only the PDP. There is internal crisis in the APC. In fact, the problem they did not resolve 4 years ago, it is still happening. And most of the party leaders, the chieftain, the big wigs in the APC, are still unable to forgive, for what, for the offense.
Yes.
So it is in both parties. But what I believe is, each party know what they want and they know how best to resolve issues.
Yes.
So what will just matter is the quality of decision, each party makes that is going to give them upper hand. in the subsequent, I mean, in the forthcoming election.
All right. On the Nigerian News Direct newspaper, we see from the very top, certificate forgery, ICPC docs ex-presidential aide Obono Obla states gaming regulators to clamp down on underage gaming money laundering. Oshibajo, Yetola Akeredolu, others to attend Oni's annual birthday symposium. For the banner headline there, we see Ministerial Performance Review Retreat. FG approved 13 billion naira for community policing as Buhari orders Defense Ministry to create industry for weapon production in country, establishes 75 billion naira for Nigerian Youth Investment Program. Quite a number of other headlines there. You can simply grab a copy of the Nigerian News Direct newspaper to keep updated. And on the Blueprint newspaper, finally, FG approved 13.3 billion naira for community policing takeoff. Oshibajo, how Buhari's post-COVID-19 stimulus rescued economy. Task CBN commercial banks on speedy release of structured lending. Wants naira value to be determined by market reality. Says 14 billion naira of the 471 billion naira farmers loans disbursed. 7 billion naira from 140 billion naira for 5 million solar connections also, and that could be found on page 6. Yes, to grab a copy of, or to keep updated on all of the news stories and headlines on these papers, you can simply grab a copy of all of the papers to read more and get more information on all of them. And that's the much we can take on Nigeria Now. Remember, you could follow us on our various social media platforms, and as well as comment and connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at TOSTV Network. You could also watch Nigeria Now via our website at www.tostvnetwork.com, as well as on YouTube at TOSTV Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.